In today's video, we're tracking cold over the next couple of days and looking at a possible long-duration storm system later this week. It could include rain, snow, sleet, and even periods of freezing rain for part of the area. All that and more coming your way right now. Hey guys, it's John with New York Metro Weather. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Here with another update on the weather over the next week or so. Quiet out there for now. We have a high pressure in place, and that's going to remain in place for the next couple of days. It's going to keep temperatures very cold, though. That air is flowing right down from Canada, and so it's quite cold. So high pressure is going to remain in place. Will very gradually warm up as we move into the middle of the week. It's not going to be instant, but we will see some warmth, so to speak, by the time we get into the middle of the week. And then we'll watch this frontal boundary that's going to approach the area and could be a bit of a mess when it comes to forecast on the back half of the week. Let's look at temperatures, though, over the next couple of days and break down what it's going to look like across the northeast U.S. states. It's chilly out there this morning. It felt like the single digits, and now it feels like the 20s. Sinking down again into the single digits tonight. It's going to feel like the teens in the city, single digits inland, and then the further inland you go, probably feeling like a bit below zero. Tuesday, a bit warmer, though. It's going to feel like the 30s as we move into the afternoon hours. Much of the same during the overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, but you'll notice it's quite a bit warmer than it was Sunday night to Monday, and then Monday night to Tuesday. So this is what we talk about, that gradual warming trend as we move into Wednesday. And then by Wednesday afternoon, it's feeling like the lower to mid 40s across the region, all ahead of that frontal boundary. You'll notice, though, by the time we get into Thursday, it's still feeling quite warm. It might even feel like the 50s in parts of southern New Jersey, which is very warm. But that press from the Arctic air is starting to come right back down, and eventually it slides down, that frontal boundary slides through. Exactly how that happens is going to determine what our weather really is going to be like. The main thing going on here midweek is we have this disturbance that moves into the Intermountain West, and then notice this very sharp gradient. So we're looking at the mid-levels of the atmosphere here, and these colors here are vorticity, or spin in the atmosphere. So we have this one disturbance that's going to eject out of the southwest into this tight pressure gradient and height gradient here. And we have another one that's over southeast Canada that's adding basically like a suppression. It's compressing the flow. If you look down here, for example, across southeast U.S., look how loose the lines are here. There's kind of a lot of space between them. Look at how tight the gradient is here up in the Midwest, the central U.S. That's going to provide a highway for this disturbance to move along, number one, but it's also going to enhance the threat of precipitation along that front with plenty of cold air to the north and warmer air and moisture to the south. That's the European model's idea. But in addition to the heights, look at the pressure. We're going to bring up the pressure because it's the reason why this is not just going to be a rainstorm and we have to worry about precipitation types. This low pressure generally would develop and move right northward here through this sort of highway in between these two high pressures. We have one off the coast and one pressing down. But because that high pressure presses down the way it does, and it's so strong, you can see how anomalous and strong it is, it's going to act almost to kind of mitigate the northward movement of this storm and keep that cold air pressing down, especially in the low levels of the atmosphere. And that's going to be an important thing moving forward. Anyway, let's look at what the European model shows. So this low pressure develops and moves northward, eastward and northward here into the Ohio Valley. And from the European model, in the New York City metro, this is mostly a rainstorm at the moment. As we move from Thursday into Friday, it looks like showers and drizzle and unsettled conditions. Just to the north, though, of the New York City metro, you see all this pink and orange. There's sleet, there's freezing rain, and there's snow north of that in New England. If we break it down and we go dive in a little deeper, you can see really that gradient here. It's not all that far away from the area. With that strong high pressure to the north, we have to watch very closely for any southward movement. Even on the European model verbatim, Friday, this rain ends as a period of wintry mix and ice. The GFS model is much further south with this. It's less amplified, and it allows colder air to press further south. So in the GFS, starts as rain, but that front quickly sinks south, and we have a prolonged period of sleet and freezing rain and snow, which would be an absolute mess from Thursday into Friday. The European is more amplified. It's further north. You can see the difference between the two right here. If I back it up, and you can really understand how different they are. The European way more amplified, the GFS further south and east. Does that sound familiar from our storm last week? So we're going to have to watch and see which one of these models has a better handle on things moving forward. If the GFS is correct, we could be looking at a period of sleet and freezing rain from Thursday into Friday and snow in the northern suburbs. It would be really a big headache. If the European model is correct and the European ensembles are correct, it's more of a rainstorm, but still have to watch for this to end possibly as sleet and or freezing rain. I wanted to pull up a sounding just to give you an idea of what causes the sleet and what causes the threat for it, and why we have to be careful of it later this week. So we pull up this sound, it's from the GFS model, and I want to focus on this area of northern New Jersey just as an example. You can see this is where we pulled the average sounding from in that red box. And so we're looking at a vertical profile of the atmosphere. Here's the lower levels, this is where you are, and then it goes up with height. So this is like right around where airplanes fly. This is 500 millibars, so 10,000 feet up. And this temperature profile is showing you how the temperature increases and decreases with height. This dotted line is the freezing line. So if the temperature is to the left of this line, it's below freezing, and if it's to the right of it, it's above freezing. And you can see that it's very cold at the surface, not only 19 degrees as simulated by the GFS, but it goes above freezing right around between 700 and 800 millibars. So what that means is that if a snowflake forms and it falls down through this layer, it's going to melt into a raindrop. And then on its way back down, it's going to refreeze. It's cold enough that it'll refreeze, and that's how you get sleet. So this sounding is telling you it's really cold at the surface, but it's warmer up here. So that snowflake is melting, and it could fall as sleet or freezing rain. And that's how you get these nightmare scenarios with these prolonged periods of sleet and freezing rain that lead to things like power outages, very icy, slick conditions that it's hard for the crews to keep up with, and can make travel really a huge pain. So that's what we got to keep an eye out for basically for the rest of the week. This storm system from Thursday into Friday. We know it's going to start as a drizzly, rainy event. It's just a matter of what happens after that. If the European model is right and this amplified idea comes to fruition, in the New York City metro area, we'll probably get away without anything crazy. But if the GFS model is correct and this storm comes in a little flatter, we're going to have to deal with a wintry mix and a bag of crap that we don't want to deal with. So we'll have to keep a close eye on it as we move through the week. Otherwise, it's cold to start, and we're warming up over the next couple days, and then we'll keep a close eye on this bad boy for the second half of the weeks, particularly from Thursday into Friday. That's all we got for today. A lot more coming your way tomorrow. We hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll talk to you in the morning. Take care.